Obsession 2026 Incel Review number 1. So this movie's been taking the box office by storm the past month, along with its duo Backrooms, The Bathroom. I saw the director on this thing is Curry Barker, some guy named Curry Barker, and I thought for a second, Clive Barker? Hellraiser? No, no relation. Apparently he's from Georgia, and his dad is named Jeff Barker. Unfortunately, I was disappointed. Honestly, spoilers ahead, by the way. Uh, it turned out to be a monkey's paw tale. Despite what the director has been arguing on Twitter the past 3 weeks, that it is in fact not a monkey's paw tale. It's a monkey's paw tale. I was going in, I was hoping it would be some sort of like psych horror thing, and then 15-20 minutes in, when we see the Weeping Willow monkey's paw substitute MacGuffin thing being used, I thought, oh, maybe it won't turn out like I'm thinking it is right now, where it's just going to be a straight up monkey's paw. You get what you wish for. R.L. Stein Goosebumps. But yeah, it turns into that. And it was kind of misleading because, they're sitting in that car in that scene right after they leave work. This is 15-20 minutes in. And this is right before he snaps the willow branch, weeping willow thing. And maybe it's just me being a spurg, but I thought she was giving him an opportunity to, confess, but maybe not. Maybe that's just me reading into it. Because all of the normie reviews and the normie interpretations of this thing are, of course, he's our main character is, a brother. It's brotherly love corrupted or something, by obsession. Misplaced brotherly love made her obsessed with him, and that's another thing. The big crux of the movie is the sort of the femoid idea of I'm mentally ill because of you. The guys themselves, men's behavior is driving them crazy. Men's behavior is causing them to do all of these irrational, hysteric mind patterns every day of their lives, that sort of nonsense. So the movie sort of indulges that and promotes that idea with the metaphor of the wish of the monkey's paw being its source. Standard incel shaming affair, because it fulfills the female notion that every lonely mid guy is secretly a rapist monster that wants to control them, and because of that they deserve to be miserable and alone, and they should actually just crawl under a rock and die. So it sort of engages in that, and this is proven by flipping the movie, flipping the characters, our main characters, and what is the inverse of obsession, where you have the woman that makes the wish for the guy, and of course, what would it be? The rapist monster would be a 6'3" Chad multimillionaire. It would be the main character from 50 Shades of Grey. It would literally be that guy. the inverse, if you were to flip those two characters, if they swapped the genders, it would be a 50 Shades of Grey movie. Our main character isn't totally likable. He's a product of the world that he was born into and grew up in, where, it is dangerous to ask out somebody that is in your friend group. And a lot of older guys, women, whatever, are not going to understand that. But, seeing that car scene where he is anxious about confessing, it's totally relatable, because you could be blowing up your friend group, you could be getting into legal trouble, depending on the context. And all of these characters, sort of a goofy movie thing. Not the Goofy movie from 1993 by Disney, but it's a goofy screenplay sort of thing. They all work at the same music store for some reason. all four of them. It's just out of plot convenience that each of these characters, we can have scenes at this one other location that they just happen to all work at, and it gives them a reason to be there. One thing that really bothers me about the movie, and horror movies, this is a horror movie thing in general, a quote I heard before, I think it was from one of the Red Letter Media guys: horror movies need rules. And one problem with this movie to me was the lack of rules surrounding the Weeping Willow, the rules surrounding the monkey's paw, because it's public knowledge that the Weeping Willow is a real thing. Towards the end of the movie, you find that out. He calls into a hotline, and he discovers then that took the real Nikki out of her body and substituted her with a fake personality. But at the same time, the director has claimed that it's not like a demonic entity moved into Nikki's body, but yet it's like a whole different person. I thought that was very strange. Like, again, it's like a rules related thing. Why would that be the case? Why would the Wish do that? And you could say, oh, it's a movie, it's a horror movie or whatever, but he made a very simple wish, and this is what came out of it. There needs to be a logical reason why, like internally in the movie, why would that happen? Really, the answer is F you, incel, kill yourself. That's the solution. And I'm not being facetious. They, like, multiple characters tell him, oh, the solution is you need to kill yourself. It's like, great. Like, that's a real solution. And it's very strange that, not only do we hear the real Nikki, and it's confirmed that the real Nikki is, like, locked away in some sort of mental torture prison, purgatory place, and the Nikki that we see in the movie, Obsession Nikki, is another form of her personality. Like, we see at night, like, the other personality will emerge, the real Nikki will emerge, and then the obsessed Nikki will be asleep, and they sort of battle each other out. Like, I think it's been confirmed that the screaming in the movie and all of the self-harm scenes, like, that's the real Nikki coming through for some reason. That is to say, I could see from a horror perspective, this is like the true female horror movie, and maybe that's why it doesn't resonate with me as much, because I'm not a female. The Foyd's worst nightmare is ending up with somebody that they think is below them, somebody that they think is that they could do better than. And clearly Nikki thinks that way of our main character. So from that perspective, yeah, it is a horror movie, but it doesn't play up that angle that much. I guess that's the angle it caters to with women. And then from the male side, from the normie side, it caters to incel shaming. He's a beta. He's not ready for a relationship. All of that jazz. Really, that sums up my thoughts on the movie. I mean, it's a pretty good horror movie. I mean, like I said, the lighting is impressive, and there's some genuine talent in that. But as a metaphor for BPD, it kind of falls flat, because a lot of women that are truly suffering from these mental illnesses and the such are more horrifying in real life than Nikki is in the movie. Also, the horror aspects kind of fall flat because, all of those creepy faces and everything she makes, I mean, it doesn't contribute to the horror of the situation. I would say altogether, it's a 6 out of 10. Would I recommend it? If you go sail the high seas at the Pirate Bay, and you've got an hour and a half of free time, then sure, but going to a movie theater, of course not. Peace out.